Good day, I'm Afrros Hudli and I'm immensely grateful for this opportunity to be talking to you today. Um, on LinkedIn, ChatGPT has been discussed, and one such thread discussed how awesome it is and what all it could possibly do. And that thread, the interaction on that thread, led to a request on why don't you help us understand more. So, one, ChatGPT is nowhere near AGI. Okay, so the general AI that which we talk of, which can create code on its own, write code, can think basically, right? That's not where ChatGPT is. What it certainly is it has leveraged the research within the natural language processing field over the years and done an excellent search engine based chatbot. The very first chatbot was written in 1966. Eliza was the name of the chatbot, and it used substitution methodology where it looked for specific words and went out into a database and fetched the response. Okay, so from there we've evolved over the years with Siri, with Google Home, with Alexa, right? And now we have ChatGPT. And as cool as it comes across to me, because I have worked on AI and natural language processing and created models, I know for a fact there's more a gimmick factor in the chat GPT than there is the wow factor. That does not mean that chat GPT does not have the potential. Okay, down the line perhaps it may end up going where we would want it to go. Things like being able to write a piece of code on its own. Right now, it does not write code, it does generate code. There's a difference. How does it do it? There are open source repositories, right? You have GitHub, you have Kaggle, where code is readily available, and you can, even on Google, you can look for code on Google, key in the query, and it returns different sources of possible code that matches your query. Very easy to do, and if you've programmed in a specific language, very easy to pick up the right code, cut, copy, paste, right? So that is exactly what the chat GPT currently is doing. What it does not do is create algorithms. To be able to write a piece of code, you need to be able to think, synthesize, and then break it down in logical process in terms of the flow to solve the problem. So it cannot do all of that yet, right? Can it eventually evolve? It will need a lot of bells and whistles. And when I say bells and whistles, right now it's trying to create expertise in natural language processing, specifically dialogue, right? From there, it's going to try and branch out and then get into coding. So that could be one possible application. But to arrive there, you'll have to work on it and give it intelligence. Right now, it cannot think for itself. It cannot, in terms of when it looks at a problem, it cannot think of the algorithm to solve the problem on its own. Okay? What did Facebook, the AI team at Facebook, had generated self-generating code, which meant that created an AI that could generate its own code and its own language. Okay, which obviously was shut down because if it's left unattended, it could generate into a completely alien language which we have no control over, and it could actually, when unleashed on humanity, could actually write the world's end, perhaps, right? So that's why it was rightfully turned off, shut down. In terms of the language processing abilities itself, again, it's a huge repository. For instance, if you ask Chat GPT, tell me about Chat GPT, it turns around and gives you the response that it doesn't know about ChatGPT because it's not in its database. Okay, so it fails gracefully, which is a thumbs up, but it does not have IQ, it does not understand, right? What it does is it does have access to a database from which it's generating its responses. It does an excellent work, very impressive in terms of writing, creative writing. Students, yes, absolutely. If you are doing a bachelor's in art, especially English, and you have creative writing as one of your subjects, your assignments are very easily done. I'll give you all that. But then here's the issue, right? One, if it's generated by ChatGPT, it'll be highlighted text. That'll be one. So your professors will know absolutely this is not your work. But there's also a chance that 60 students in a class of 120 may actually have the same creative piece based on the query they may have. So if the professor gives you one same assignment and all of you will go key in the same question, it may actually generate the same response, right? So you need to be very careful. If you're doing creative writing, be very, very careful. Now, in schools, can kids use it in schools to do their math? Absolutely. In any case, you have a lot of videos on YouTube that help you understand calculus, integrals, differentiation, all of that jazz, right? And basic algebra, there's trigonometry, there's geometry, all of that is available, and Khan Academy is the key source, right? So absolutely, ChatGPT can hook into that database, find the answer to the problem, and give you the answer. It's not actually solving the problem though. So if I said, if my database, what does that mean, Afrros? If my database has 2 plus 2 is 4, but does not have 2 plus 3 is 5, then the ChatGPT will turn back and tell me 2 plus 3 is not available in my database currently, and I cannot give you the answer to it. Does that make sense? So it's an excellent search engine. Okay, it does not have the ability to actually address or create or think for itself. So that's one aspect. The other aspect is encapsulation. What does that mean? Your Siri, Google Home, Alexa, all of them are high quality chatbots, right? And they interact through audio rather than text. ChatGPT takes text as a query, right? As Google does. But the difference is when I say encapsulation, how does Alexa or Google Home or Siri fetch the responses it does is not transparent. What do I mean by that? Let's take a toaster. All of us, well, I don't, most humans in the morning with their tea, coffee have a toast, right? So you take slices of bread, slot it into the toasting machine, 2 slots, and it goes in, the grill does what it needs to do, and when they're ready, it pops out. Now, you and I cannot see what the grill is doing inside once you push the button down, right? All you know is the slices went in and the slices came back toasted. Really yum, right? So that is encapsulation. So it's like a black box. Things get done and ta-da, you're presented with the end result. That is exactly what Alexa, Google Home, Siri do. As against that, ChatGPT actually takes your query in a text form and gives you the entire write-up in text, right? So that's a novelty feature. And that has got you hooked on because it's no longer just audio, it's visual. And 70% of the world's population is visual. And OpenAI excels in the marketing that they've created around it by forcing you to create a login to get to their chatbot. Now, in so doing, if you did not use a pseudonym ID, if you used your first name, last name, and a Gmail account, it has added you to the list of database of human beings that exist on Earth, and it has already gone out onto Google and searched on you and brought back your so if you're on Twitter, you're on Instagram, you're on LinkedIn, you're posting every day, it's trained itself on your style of writing. So when you query it for your own style of writing, create a horror movie or a page on horror story, a page of horror story in the style of ABC, it will do that search really effectively because you have already provided your details to it, and it has happily trained itself, and the database is now tuned to your style. And that brings me to the issues with toys like ChatGPT. One, just as deepfake can be used. What is deepfake? So deepfake is another AI tool which assists you with creating audio videos. Okay, so it can be pure audio or videos, and it's scary because you can actually you can use this video to train the AI tool. It'll then mimic the way I speak and create using the words you want me to speak, which I may never have spoken, right? So, and that is exactly how the OpenAI ChatGPT can also be used. So things that I've never written on social platforms and or through any written channel can be published as you by you, right? Which could be a complete misrepresentation, by the way. And there could be a lot of legal hassles coming towards people using the chatbot. And that's where the encapsulation point that I covered with you early on comes to play. It's each company that develops an AI toy has social responsibility to make certain that the toy will not be leveraged and or the toy's utilization for wrong doing and or negatively impacting humanity is minimized. And I think OpenAI fails in their ethical responsibility there. I understand it excites you. It doesn't excite me. I've seen the history of natural language processing right from 1966. Well, I was not born then. I've been in the field for 17 years though, but so I know what has happened before I was born and how it's evolved, and then I've contributed to it and I've played and I've built my own toys and then I've encapsulated it in products that I've rolled out into the market. So the wow factor is very minimal for me, and the concern outweigh the wow factor for me. Because at the end of the day, when you put something so powerful, and it is powerful, Google Home is powerful, Siri is powerful. You could train Siri to talk with a particular accent, right? Now, can Siri be leveraged to commit a crime using the fact that you can train it? Absolutely, you can. But it has been minimized by the encapsulation. As against that, OpenAI has left the entire chatbot available for you to hack into, and for you to be able to leverage it to do things that it shouldn't be doing, which are unethical. And people have tried and tested that too. So if you really want to dig into it, do a Google query and you will see where it takes you and where you land. Overall, do I see it going places? In terms of the marketing gimmick, the fact that it has million plus users in 6 days, 5 days, outstanding, right? Google and others took forever to get there. But the reason ChatGPT got there so fast is the marketing gimmick, and most people fell into it, just as people have fallen for Bitcoin, and we all know where Bitcoin is today. Sam, if you're listening to this, I absolutely admire the drug effect, is what I call it, the marketing that you've done around the ChatGPT. Kudos to you on it. But please do take on board the ethical concerns around it and do address it. They are addressable. I hope you will be looking into it as a matter of priority and take it up. And if you need help, reach out. Happy to help you as well. And basically, it's a good toy, but let's make it better, is what I'm saying, right? So let's get to that. And following this soundbite, if you have further questions, interactions, feel free to reach out, and we can have that conversation from there. Have a great day ahead. Talk soon. Take care. Bye.